we're all cousins, we're all kin in some way. One of the biggest mistakes that the genealogist makes is to erect ethnic or religious walls around themselves and to assume, let's say, if I have grown up hearing that I am Caucasian, then I don't need to go to conference lectures or to read resources that deal with African American history or Native American history. But I do, because the records themselves weren't segregated. Our ancestors lived cheek and jowl. They shared a world. They interacted. They created records together. They created children together. I have not been to any conference lecture that dealt with this ethnicity or that ethnicity that I could not see ways to apply it regardless of the ethnicity to which you belong. African Americans learned very early that they have to reconstruct the history of the slave owner's family in order to reconstruct their own. As Caucasian Americans, we may or may not find that we have slave owners in our background, but we also need to learn the essence of slave family life, because our ancestors dealt with slaves. They were neighbors to slaves. Our ancestors were traders among the Indians. Our ancestors crossed ethnic and religious bounds in all kinds of ways, and we have to cross those bounds too in our research to get the full picture of what life was like for our ancestors. The biggest surprise that I have had as a genealogist is the sheer diversity of my family, and not just mine, but every other family. My father, on his deathbed when I was 14, told me that he was half German and half Irish. I found French Huguenots, I found Swiss watchmakers, I have found English parsons, every other type of ethnicity that you can imagine. My mother swore we were pure English except for the Choctaw Indian princess, and I haven't found the Choctaw princess, but I have found Germans and Scots and Irish and all sorts of ethnicities. Between her family, my husband's family, and the heritage that I am working on now for my offspring covers 19 different ethnicities. My husband's family was much the same. He grew up being told that on his father's side, he's Scotch-Irish, pure Scotch-Irish. His mother told him she was French. His French mother has Spanish and German and much Native American and many other ethnicities. His Scotch-Irish grandfather goes back to everywhere except Scotland or Ireland. And that seems to be common for just about every family that I hear nowadays. I have one son who married an Italian girl, and that has led me to many wonderful explorations in Sicily. I have another son who married someone of Jewish descent from Brooklyn, and that's just opened up a whole nother world for me to explore. And my grandchildren are getting to the age that they enjoy hearing the stories that we uncover. And when they come to see me, they want to get online and go to Ancestry.com or NGS's website or one of the others and explore to see what they can find on that particular line. I think genealogy's greatest worth is the extent to which it helps us understand our world. It gives us empathy for others. It teaches us to respect other people, other cultures. We live in a world that tries to divide us. It pits people against people. But you cannot be in genealogy for long without discovering that with the very next record you find, you could be part of those other people. It's very healing to society, and it is very powerful to know that it can help us accept others and help us understand where others come from, why they have the stance, whether it's political, social, religious, or whatever. We can better understand where they are coming from and how they feel about things. I grew up in the Mississippi Delta, and you know all the connotations that exist with that phrase, Mississippi Delta. But in my social and professional world as a genealogist, I do not know of any person or any place that harbors prejudice against one people against the other. It's us in genealogy.